on here. Some great players in the region. And in this lobby, Devious from Stoic is going to be the elimination leader at 9 elims. You know, these games, they get harder and harder as it goes on, but it's impressive to see these players kind of continuing to slay out like this. And the Tempo boys are going to get pushed here.
Yeah,
by slots.
Are getting pushed with slots has almost no effective HP, so anything they can land as a stink does go out. You see slots trying to push away. That's so unfortunate.
That is so. So I have to imagine that slots did not know that players are going to be there when he landed on it, and then just got caught completely surprised and was like, oh no, what's going on? And then like, boom, you know, you're out of the game. That is a rough one though.
Yeah, definitely seemed like a desperation play because he was so low in effective HP. One thing you can see that Cizlucky did very well here is he didn't try and like go directly for the loot. He made sure to tunnel underneath it and then build up to it. That way the players who were able to were retreating shots down towards him weren't able to get an angle. But jumping on over with Myth and Poppin, who have actually been popping off so far on the NA East side of things. So really impressed to see that.
Yeah, well, Myth, known this guy for a long time. He has been a staple of the competitive Fortnite community for such a long time, and for due reason. Is this going to be his time? You know, Myth, he always brings with you like tense moments. You're like, oh, you're going to be able to win this one out, man. Kind of like this right here. And Myth, he's going to get eaten. So much damage. Just down, but not quite out, though, because Poppin had his back, and that is going to be the third elimination for this duo.
Yeah, and good job putting down the poison dart trap off the start of that, getting the tick damage out, and then working together with Poppin to make sure they covered that. Myth getting the siphon there is massive, as you have 50 and Owl fighting against Dark Lizard and D-Maze with Cizlucky and Brush directly above them.
Cizlucky and Brush were the two players that we jumped on as when we came into this game earlier on. They were able to benefit from some of the resources and just overall ammo, all the inventory really, from slots, the player that had landed on top of them. But this is a slower, I would say a slower game than what we've been seeing so far, at least when we've been commentating Sundown. It's been because you gotta sometimes, like, it's okay to just slow things down, right? There's not much really to try and push here. You see that circle's gonna be coming through, and they have their backs against that circle, so you know that players are gonna be coming their way, and they can try and take advantage of that if someone's caught in the open, maybe rack up some more eliminations like you see right there.
Yeah, looking for it there. Another thing to note, too, is when you're by the Sunny Steps region, as Cizlucky does pick up THN, Danny, when you're by this region, because of the amount of geysers and trees that you're moving through, people have more utility and more mats to use. As Cizlucky drops in the box and just going to opt to disengage and try and take high ground with Brush right away. The Tempo Storm duo playing incredibly well.
And if they need it, they have that geyser to be able to rotate. Saw some more names. I saw J-Truth and Monster right there. Myth and Poppin, who we saw earlier on. Sean and Javis, who I believe I've seen before. Could be wrong, but I believe I have seen them before in I think a Lux Cup maybe.
Yep, and then Never Dodge and Bolt as well. Never Dodge, a player who has been doing very well as of late, challenging up towards those leaderboards. Generally always at least in the prizing, as Monster picks up D-Maze to get inside that first placement threshold. So
the
3
stinkers
points going through, and he just dove right on into that one.
Yeah, that is a smelly area there. A lot of stinkers will be covering that, and Monster will feel a little bit of the pain from the stink bombs. Myth and Poppin are sticking together as they should. Everyone at this point just trying to work together to stay alive, but pick off some of the stragglers here, and Dodge is going to push on to Fume and will pick him off. That is going to be a great and clean shot there. Another one as well. You have that blue tack. He's got to put it to use and picks up an elimination on Zaddy now.
You know, a lot of people like to down talk the tack, but particularly the rare tack when you're dealing in a kind of a turtle war or a tarp situation. You know, my general rule of thumb is if they can't smell your breath, the tack's not going to do enough damage. But in here, you're directly on top of anyway. You're practically hugging the people, and you can't really miss the tack spread with that high rate of fire. At least these players, they're not going to miss those shots, and you saw it right there. You don't pick up those 2 elims if you're rocking a pump SMG swap. It just doesn't happen.
Oh, Myth needs to be careful. They were trying to get on top of this structure here, but they couldn't get over the railing, and then because of that, ends up eating a lot of shots and will go down on his shields. but will use that natural structure to try and keep himself alive.
Yeah, that's what we talked about with the natural structures. It's difficult to rotate through because sometimes there's those weird areas where you aren't able to build because the structure does occupy the actual part of the square. You can't go through it. But secondary, they have a lot of HP, so trying to knock through them is very loud and it's difficult. It puts more pressure on you. As these players are, it's a mad rush on the low ground.
That's right. It is crazy down here. Absolute scramble. 5 eliminations for Myth and Poppin, but Myth is going to go down. Where's Poppin? Where's his teammate? Myth at this point, he's basically going to be out of this one, and Myth, Poppin, goodbye. Dark Lizard gets the elimination, but will be outside and needs to just run right back in as soon as he possibly can, and will utilize that launch pad to get into the action, but it will be all for naught as Sean will get the better of him there. Then he got Flexi up above, J-Truth down low, Monster here, the recent pickup for EG, but they're going to be struggling to get back into the safe zone, and Monster and J-Truth are going to be out of this game. We have 3 duos left, 4 players remaining, which means it's going to be a 2v1v1, and Neverbolt does not have his teammate dodge, but he has that flintlock. Oh, he's gonna go up above them. I love the flintlock play. The flintlock is so nasty when you're able to go outside of the storm and then just pop yourself right back up. But Bolt's got to get to the safe area, 4 HP, and he won't be able to stay alive. Cizlucky will win the game. That flintlock play was very nice, but it just wasn't enough, and that will be a wrap on that game. Oh, what a conclusion there.
That the flintlock play being brilliant, able to pick up the